Running out of diesel and getting locked out of our camper truck in freezing temperatures was not the start we wanted as we enter Scandinavia.
Do you know what? If this happens in the Arctic, it's going to be, and it could be fatal.
The icy climate has definitely started to make us adapt and change the way we do van life. This trip we are on, from the UK to Lapland, in the Arctic Circle, has already been a challenge. From squeezing in months of preparation into a few weeks.
We're all in now, there's no going back.
And already being tested by the winter weather, all before we reach the Nordics. Our Scandinavia part of the journey officially begins. Today is the day we finally reach Denmark, an entry point to the rest of the land of ice and snow. I was asleep and I woke up and it's snow. We put all our faith in ourselves and our Hotmobile Gladiator off-road camper, and so far we are making progress.
This is the last time that we're going to experience non-freezing temperatures.
We've made our way to the magical city of Bruges, passing through equally pretty cities in Germany, and we had no idea that the road to Lapland would be like something out of a fairy tale. It's our last opportunity to get the engine preheater fixed. Without it, we cannot even dream about entering the Arctic Circle. There's huge distances to travel and steep learning curves everywhere as we spend another week getting a grip on the slippery surface as we aim to reach Lapland for Christmas.
I've just looked at the weather forecast and we're due imminently a huge dumping of snow. Welcome back to the channel. We are still in northern Germany. In fact, we're about to become ex-Germans as we head over into Scandinavia for the very first time. It's the first time Janine and I have ever been to Denmark, Scandinavia, Norway, any of that stuff. So we're so excited. New countries for the list, new adventures. The weather's getting colder, although it's dropped a little bit as we come by the coast, but we have experienced some minus temperatures recently, and it was good for preparation. We've been camped up in a small city called Lubeck, which is where we left you last time actually, and it's known as the capital of marzipan for the whole world. Boy, is it, my God. We actually stuck around there. It's a beautiful city with like many spires. It actually looks like a marzipan castle. And they've got an amazing Christmas market. The people were super friendly. I'll say this about Germans, 99.9% of them are so lovely. We've had such nice, lovely interactions with them, although whether be it they speak English or just German or not, it's just wonderful, beautiful, and very festive as well. Here's a tip for you. If you ever go to Lubeck, the local Aldi sells marzipan much cheaper than the main marzipan shops. And yesterday as well, oh God, we got locked out of the camper for the first time as well. And yesterday, I couldn't believe it. It was like -3 or something like that. Really cold. The coldest time we've had yet. And we got locked out of the camper. It was frightening for me because I knew we'd be able to get it sorted, but it was frightening because I thought, do you know what, if this happens in the Arctic, it's going to be, and it could be fatal. So I'm glad it happened now. We know what the crack is with it. There's a latch on the door that if you don't, it's basically, you should be able to lock the door with the key, but you can lock it without using the key as well. So just being really careful. Now we know, we've always got the keys on us or someone's inside it, but now we know just extra level of safety with it. So lesson learned in a place where we managed to get it sorted, 24-hour locksmith, cost us a fortune, doesn't matter, big steep learning curve. So onwards to today, we are going to Denmark. Copenhagen is our destination for today. Overall, we're once again hoping to make it as far north as possible because time is ticking. The advent calendar doors are being opened and we're getting closer to Christmas, and as you know, we want to be in Lapland for Christmas. So the ideal would be Norway by the end of the next few days. Let's see what happens. We are outside Aldi at the moment and we're going to be soon going to Lidl, stocking up in the cheap country before going to the expensive country. What you stock up on, I don't know. We've got a bag full of cheap snacks, and we're also thinking about Christmas dinner as well, because this year might be the very first year that we actually have a successful Christmas dinner in the camper that we're staying in. So that's one of our ultimate long-term goals. Let's see if that happens. But first off, emergency supplies, Aldi, Lidl.
Okay, so this is the vegan section, and we have lots of meats here. It's actually really good. Got some egg mayonnaise pots here. Not sure what that is. Salad, not sure what that is. That looks like coleslaw. These look amazing. Schnitzels, tofu, and then down here we've got some steaks. But none of it is with 25th of December date on, which is really annoying.
Prosecco for Christmas Day.
Nice.
We pop the cork if we make it to Lapland for Christmas. Yeah?
Yeah.
Deal?
Let's hope it survives.
Oh God, yeah. It'll be freezing at the back of that thing. It won't. It's thick glass though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It won't crack, hopefully.
It's worth the risk.
Worth. Yeah. Good thinking. We'll work it out.
Bit of a squeeze.
Proper squeeze. We have got so much emergency supplies. That's how you go to the Arctic. That's how you go to the Arctic.
Okay, so whilst we're here, we may as well go and check out Lidl as well, although I don't think we've got any space for any more food. So we'll just have a brief look around, and if we see something really good, we'll get it.
This machine behind me here is, you might have seen one before, but so ignore it if you have, but they basically give you money for your recycling, so like plastic bottles, tins, that sort of thing. And it clocks up. I saw someone the other day just put in like a few plastic bottles and a few tins, and I got like €3 from it. Incentive to recycle. Just a really good idea. They're onto something here.
Okay, cool. Shopping done. Time to go. It's time to leave Germany and head over to Scandinavia for the first time ever. We need to catch a ferry across to Denmark, which we hear leave quite regularly, and we can buy a ticket upon arrival. Presuming the ticket counter is in the duty-free shop, that's where we headed. And this place prides itself on being the largest in the world.
All right, well, that's a bit of a mistake by me. That would literally just the biggest duty-free you've ever seen in your life. But not what we needed right now. We want tickets to get on the ferry. So apparently, the bloke in there said you just drive and check in as you go through, just as if you're going into a train station or whatever, or through a toll bridge. So we're going to go and do that.
After some running around, we worked it out and bought our ticket upon entrance. It costs €100 for this 45-minute journey over to Denmark, so we grabbed a tea and enjoyed the trip to a place very unknown to us.
Denmark!
Denmark! Woo!
New country, Janine.
I know.
It's been a while, that.
I know. Here we are. Our Scandinavia part of the journey officially begins.
Yeah!
Woo!
Yeah! I wonder what is ahead of us.
I know.
This one road all the way to Copenhagen.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's going to take us a couple of hours to get there, but it's just one road to Copenhagen. We're in the free-to-roam land now, but apparently it's not that easy to find a place in Copenhagen.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Park-ups in Copenhagen are notoriously difficult, I think. So this should be interesting.
Not really knowing what to expect when we get there, we continued our trip straight through to Copenhagen. The day was overcast but milder than recent days. Time was also knocking on, so we made a beeline for our park-up just outside the city centre. When it comes to cities, we generally don't like driving through the centre as it can get complicated, especially when it's a new country. So we try to avoid where we can. If it means parking a bit further out and catching the bus or train in, then that's okay with us. And in this instance, we are parking at a train station in a district called Hellerup.
This is a really busy train station car park outside of the city. The city has got ULEZ on it, which we don't know what the clean air emissions thing is. It's also a nightmare to find a park up in Copenhagen, apparently. So there's that. With loads of restrictions, loads of parking fines and costs as well. Whereas this one, I believe, is completely free. And we can get a train into the city centre here tomorrow. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to stay here tonight, see what the lay of the land is, and maybe stay here tomorrow as well, and just catch the train in. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That'll do, won't it?
Yeah.
That'll be all right.
Yeah, and then if a bigger place clears, we'll just move it later.
Move into that, like if someone, and back into it.
Yeah.
So let's just say it's that for now.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do it. We've arrived in Copenhagen. That was a pretty long trip today, and I'm quite exhausted. It's like quite dark. It's like one of those sort of rainy, dingy days, and I think it's going to get dark quite soon. And we haven't eaten all day, so I think we're going to eat. Are you hungry?
Yeah. safe. Oh, it's freezing in here.
Yeah, get the diesel.
Get the bloody diesel heater on the Geo.
Okay, so tonight we're giving ourselves a break and we're having a really easy dinner because we've been travelling all day. It's getting dark. So we picked up these tortellinis from Aldi or Lidl, I can't remember. And we get them back in England, but they're delicious. So we're going to have this with like oil and salt and rocket and avocado, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, let's get cooking.
I feel it coming. I feel it taking control.
Is that solidified?
Yeah.
Olive oil's frozen. You know you're in Scandinavia when the olive oil's frozen.
Yay!
Check that out.
Finally.
I know.
What a beauty.
What a beautiful thing that is. This is where I'll get worried because I'm not very gentle.
This is where you're going to wreck it. I'd say just serve
You're
it.
just going to fold it through. Just fold it through, yeah.
It's good, Liam.
First night in Copenhagen, we've got some fine Italian food going on.
Too bad. First time ever in Scandinavia.
I know.
It's weird.
I've got my own place, an extra toothbrush as well.
Good morning from somewhere just outside Copenhagen at a train station car park. Not the most glamorous of locations. That's VanLife for you. And this was actually, despite the trains going past all the time, this was actually a pretty good night's sleep that we had here. Because we've got such good insulation on this thing, it's sort of soundproofed in a way. So you can hear it as a faint murmur. It sounds like similar to the sound of the diesel heater starting up. That's what it sounds like. And the train stopped later on the night. So this is a good stop, and it's completely free, which is more to be said than a lot of spaces in Copenhagen. Talking of Copenhagen, we are going to be heading in right now using this very train service here into the city centre to go and see what trouble we can get into. There's some interesting things to see there, I'm sure. And then tonight, we're probably going to have to get moving and move on to a new country. I wonder what that is.
I wasn't expecting to get off the train to see this. This is really nice.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
It looks like New York or something. Not that we've ever been to New York, but it looks like New York, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got like that sort of vibe to it. Very pretty.
It's really pretty.
Very
city.
clean.
Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting, but definitely not this. Copenhagen was founded by Vikings back in the 10th century. What started off as a fishing village back then is now a large and pretty bustling city, famous for its pretty harbour, Hans Christian Andersen, and it may just be the bicycle capital of the world with more bikes than cars in the city. As well as history, the Hygge Cafe culture, which means cosy contentment, lines each street. And talking of cosy cafes, we head straight to see how much breakfast will cost in one of the most expensive countries in Europe. Liam had chia pudding with coffee, and I had overnight oats with hot chocolate. The whole lot came to £18, which wasn't as bad as we were expecting. It was the necessary energy we needed to spend a day exploring a new city.
Okay, cool, we're off to a good start. So, what do you do in 24 hours in Copenhagen? Well, we're about to find out. We have no idea really what there is to see apart from a couple of things. So I think it's going to be just one of those beautiful times where you just get to absorb the place rather than having to go and see things all the time. But we're gonna go walking now. It's a massive city, so let's find out.
First impressions, it's so quiet and clean and pretty, and all the buildings are really clean and tall as well. So we've got a really good feel walking around. You feel really safe here. For a city, that's quite strange. So yeah, I really like it. Our first stop in Copenhagen is the famous former meatpacking area of the city. As the name suggests, it doesn't sound like somewhere that two long-term vegans would want to go. But this is now a transformed district, and what was once meat factories is now full of trendy coffee shops and restaurants, whilst retaining the original building's character. Liam has found what looks to be a beer museum.
Hey up.
Hey up.
Someone's getting dodgy already.
But I don't think it's a beer museum. It's called the Carlsberg...
Glypatek. It's got Carlsberg in the name.
Glypatek.
Carlsberg comes from Denmark. And it's free on a Tuesday, apparently. It's like it's meant to be. It's written in the stars.
It's a really nice building. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't think there's any Carlsberg in here, though. Okay, so Liam's just nipped off to the toilet. There is no Carlsberg to have here. which is fine. It looks like an amazing building. It's so pretty with loads of really incredible sculptures, but we're not going to come in. We're really trying to look after our money here now that we've reached Scandinavia and things are a little bit more expensive. So we've come in, we're using the toilets here, and we've seen a couple of sculptures, but we're not going to go through the main gates to actually get into the building. But I can see already it's absolutely gorgeous. We have got half an hour to get from here to our next location, to get there on time to see something really special that we don't want to miss. So we're going to rush now and try and get there on time.
We've got 25 minutes to get there, but it's a half an hour walk, so we need to get a jog on.
Trust my gut, but you're second guessing what we've got, but I swear the best is
It's not like us to be late for something.
Not like us to be rushing across the city on a nice relaxed day.
I did not want to be running across the city today. I can't believe we've just got here, it's just started and my battery's gone. So I'm on my phone now trying to catch it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have no idea what's going on. Everyone's running towards them. I've lost Liam. Oh, I just don't know what's going on. It's Liam. Introducing the Copenhagen changing of the guard, which upon arrival was just as chaotic as both Liam and myself felt in our heads at that moment. The changing of the guard, much like the one we have in Buckingham Palace, begins at midday, and as royalty were in residence today, was a flamboyant show of marching, salutes and music. We both felt it was totally worth running for 30 minutes across the Danish capital for, and a new memory for us.
So a 30-minute hoof across town was well worth it. Proper chaos, but always entertaining to see the changing of the guards. And here's a fun fact for you. My dad used to be one of these guys. Well, he used to be a soldier. He's in his military days, and he used to be one of these guys changing of the guard. So always good for us to come and see that.
Okay, changing of the guard done. And now we are off to go and see a very famous statue that you have to see when you're in Copenhagen. Can you guess what it is?
I lost it all the other day.
Okay, right up ahead is the statue, and I can see hundreds of people around it. Yeah, there's hundreds of people there. Maybe not. Maybe like 20.
Yeah, give it 30, 35.
35. There it is. There she is, the mermaid statue. How amazing to see this for the very first time. I've always heard about this statue. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I'd actually be here looking at it.
It is possible, I know. It's not too late.
Introducing the Little Mermaid statue in commemoration of the Danish modern fairy tale writer Hans Christian Andersen. You may not know of Hans Christian Andersen, but you probably know of some of his work, like The Story of the Emperor's New Clothes, or Thumbelina, The Ugly Duckling, or maybe The Snow Queen that inspired Frozen. But the most famous of all must be The Little Mermaid. And again, Disney made their own version of the story, but changed the story to make it a happy ending. The original Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid, while similar, had somewhat more of a dark ending. In the Disney film, Ariel the Mermaid trades her voice for human legs with hopes to woo the prince, and after some obstacles she defeats evil, gets her voice back, and she ends up marrying the prince. But in Hans Christian Andersen's take, she trades her voice for legs, but the legs feel like daggers when she walks, and the Little Mermaid doesn't get the prince and loses her life. As we sat and took in the beautiful statue, you couldn't help but feel admiration for a man who wrote fairy tales with such adult themes of sacrifice and transformation.
Okay, it's really peaceful down there. It's actually really nice just to sit down on a rock and just look at the mermaid and look at all the industry around. I found that extra cool because, you know, when you're younger and you have a child's movie that is your ultimate favourite film, The Little Mermaid was mine, so to me that was really special.
321 days I spent the better half of the year just holding space. I've got
Seem to be in the main square here now, and it's got the prettiest looking hotel. When we said this looks like New York, it really, really does. It's like something out of Home Alone, if you love those films like we do. It's like that. Check this out.
no, if you're not here then it's not Christmas at all. But this year, oh, I believe.
Check out this door. Look at that, it's amazing. That is just so amazing. I love this place. I would live here. No way. I can't believe it. I think that's how tall the tallest person was in the world. It's absolutely massive. It's incredible. It can't be right. Is it
Yeah, he was almost 9 foot tall.
Wow.
Almost 9 foot tall. I'm 6'2".
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Is that real? That's the size of his feet.
Yeah, that's just showing how tall he was. 2.72 metres. He died when he was 22 years old. Poor bloke. I've always heard that taller people live longer. But maybe there's some other issues. But yeah, huge.
If you're here in the little
Couldn't find any Danish pastries, plant-based ones, but we have found a Danish sausage place that's got a plant-based option. So we're going to see what Danish sausages are like. We're going to go for the real traditional one and see how that goes. With the mashed roots.
I've got one Christmas wish, top of my Christmas list. To be your angel, when the sun's coming down, the song you're singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven, on earth in this town, it's only Christmas.
This is a traditional Danish plant-based thing. It's like a root mash, pickled beetroot, mustard and Danish sausage.
Nice.
Yeah. Should we get a go?
Go for it.
If you're coming around.
Very earthy.
Yeah?
Very nice.
Good?
Good.
And I got not so traditional.
It is traditional.
Is it?
That's a traditional Danish sausage.
Oh, okay.
Everyone wants to feel less alone, but just like putting on a winter coat, you could always melt away the bitter cold. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down, the song you're singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town.
Those Danish hot dog things. Really, really good. It's so nice to be able to have something plant-based and authentic as well, you know, and it didn't cost that much, even by English standards. So that's really good. We're going now, we're crossing the bridge, and probably our last stop, the sun's just going down, and our last stop today is somewhere very bloody interesting. We've saved the most interesting place till last, I think. But we'll go check it out now and explain more if and when we get there.
Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around.
So here we are at our final stop in Copenhagen, the Christiana Freetown. Back in the 70s, people started squatting here in this ex-military base with the aim to create an alternative society free from government control, which pretty much got accepted. Since then, it has grown in popularity, attracting free thinkers and creatives from across the world to join the community. One of its most controversial attributes was its no-drug laws, famously associated with the area within the Freetown called Pusher Street, where cannabis was freely being traded. As we walked and learnt more about the community, we discovered that Pusher Street went too far with gangs and hard drugs being involved, and since has been reformed to something more positive, working with Danish law to keep the streets safe.
There you have it. That's what true freedom looks like. It's not somewhere I would live, and we're two people who are like chasing freedom. We're quite happy with our level of freedom, in all honesty. Like, VanLife has given us probably the level that we would want to go to, but we don't like it when the government start implying new restrictions, like everybody, new rules and stuff, and they're trying to take away your freedom. I don't think I'd go to that extreme. It must be so difficult to live in a community with that many people and rely on everybody pulling their weight and doing their bit and not wrecking the place, not taking advantage. And I think they've had a few difficulties in the past. Enough respect to them for doing it. It was an eye-opener, always inspirational, and it's so nice to see it actually happened somewhere. Always. I think that's our second autonomous community we've ever gone to, and we're just amazed by it every time.
Nighttime approached as we wandered around Copenhagen a little longer, popping into a strangely named cafe for a cup of tea, and admired the huge amount of board games both on display and being played on each table. Remembering the Scandinavian Hugar principle to be content and cosy in the colder months. After a day of inspiration, we took the train back to our own Hugar space of coziness on 4 wheels. So we are back at the van now. It's night time outside and I fancy a snack, and I wanted to show you these because I discovered these just a couple of days ago and I thought it was a cup of soup, and when I added my water I was surprised to find out that it's mashed potato and with croutons as well, and it is the most delicious. I know it's probably really unhealthy for you, but it's so good. So me and Liam are having a snack of mashed potato. There you go.
Looks revolting.
It's lovely, trust me. You're going to love it.
Let's give it a go. School dinner mashed potato. That's all right. It doesn't taste healthy in the slightest, and it's potato now, and it was just powder before, but I can eat that.
It's delicious.
Okay, well, despite walking 30,000 steps a day, it's quite late now. We've decided to leave not only Copenhagen, but head to Sweden now, which seems strange, but we've just got to go south of Copenhagen and cross a really bloody big bridge. The bridge will take us all the way to southern Sweden, and then, because it's so late, we'll probably find a park up around there. I think the reason why we've done it, the main reason why we've done it, is because we've run out of diesel. We've got this thing where, you might have seen in the last video, where we're trying not to get too much diesel for the diesel heater so that we end up having too much sort of like low South European diesel, which has a lower freezing point, higher freezing point, whichever one it is. For that reason, we've been filling up the diesel tank that much each time. It's a separate diesel tank, this one behind me here, and we've run out of diesel, so the diesel heater is not working, which means we will freeze. It has been 7 degrees today in Copenhagen, so it's felt quite mild for this time of year apparently, but it's going to get colder, and it's going to get colder, and it's going to get colder, it's going to get colder, so we really need to get diesel, and we can't run out of diesel like we have done. So en route, that's what we decided to do. En route, pick up some diesel, cross the big bridge, and then find a place to camp in Sweden. So off to Sweden we go. You ready?
Almost. I'm in my pyjamas, so I might just put on my joggers. Otherwise, if I have to get out in my pyjamas, it could be a bit embarrassing. So yeah, I'm going to get changed. I was ready to go to bed and then our diesel heater stopped. So yeah, let me just get changed quickly.
Okay.
Drive through the night to lay underneath the stars.
Nothing quite like a late night drive.
Feels like I'm dreaming to be wherever you are. Oh, my walls are falling when I fell for you. From my heart I'm calling, hear me say,
Wow, that's that hotel we saw earlier.
your eyes are like oceans. Wave after wave, you are pulling me in. My true love and devotion. I'll spend eternity and only begin to see
5 litres I've just put in there. So whatever happens, we've got to use those 5 litres up before we get to really anything over -10.
I'm sure we will though.
I'm sure we.
Okay, now we're off to Sweden. I can't believe we're actually going to Sweden because we needed diesel.
That's the excuse, isn't it?
I know.
Weird.
I know.
Very strange. Driving through Copenhagen at night. Strange.
The weirdest thing ever.
No matter what comes, I'm not giving up. Never giving
Is this it? Is this the bridge?
12 kilometres and we'll be in Sweden. 12 kilometres across a bridge and we'll be in Sweden. In the dead of night.
I feel really scared and I don't know why.
It's a bit strange.
So alien, the idea of going to Sweden, especially at night. I'm not prepared for this. Is it a tunnel all the way to Sweden?
I have no idea. We can literally go in the water now.
I don't know. Are we?
Look at that. I thought it was a bridge.
It's not a bridge, it's a tunnel.
Oh, is it like the Dartford one?
Yeah.
Is it like the Dartford one where you've got the tunnel on the way there and the bridge on the way back?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see the bridge.
I'm saying yeah, I have no idea.
Come on, Ginny, give me some answers.
I literally don't know. I can't believe we're going to almost be in Sweden in, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there, but
26 minutes.
We're under the sea now going to Sweden. 26 minutes?
No, sorry. About 15 minutes.
10-15 minutes and we'll be in Sweden. I feel really nervous. I don't know why. I think I feel nervous because Sweden's such a it can be so remote.
Yeah, it's like the first bit of wild, proper wild.
Real, yeah. In my head, it's like really wild and.
It's the no going back thing, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
whereas Denmark is a bit like northern Germany, but Sweden goes all the way up to the Arctic Circle.
Yeah, you're all in. Aren't
We're
you?
all in now. There's no going back. You got any doubts, sweetheart?
Oh yes.
I hope not. We'll be alright.
It's a bit nerve-wracking. That's the end of the tunnel.
And now we're on the bridge.
And now it's the bridge. Okay, so now you're going to watch the wind.
Feel it a little bit.
So that's Sweden over there.
Oh, look at the side. This is the bridge here. Look at that.
Hold on the steering wheel.
I've got the steering wheel. Don't worry. I'm not going to be like, oh, it is a bit windy on the side.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, look at the lights in the distance.
That's Sweden.
That's Sweden over there.
Yes, we are.
That looks really ominous. Officially in Sweden.
Well
Woo!
done. Sorry, I was trying to drive as well.
Finally, arriving into Sweden and noticing how different it feels to Denmark, we shortly arrived at our park up for the night, somewhere near the coast, completely on our own, and arriving in the pitch black. We climbed into our Gladiator camper for a well-deserved night's sleep as we were exhausted.
Can we learn to see the need? Can we share humanity? I can see another day come. Broken people, we can be made whole. We can be made whole. We can be made whole. As we lay down our weapons, open up our hearts. Love is breaking us. Love remaking us.
Good morning from somewhere in Sweden, south of Malmö city, south of that bridge that we crossed yesterday. We're actually right in the middle of nowhere. These things here are shipping containers, and I think this is like, well, I don't know what business this is, but it looks like somewhere along here there's a surf school during the season, obviously. But these shipping containers provided good sort of wind block yesterday, good shelter from the wind. So very nice sleep here, out in the wild, right on the sea. And it's cold today. I've got this sweater on, but I need to put my coat on. So we've got a situation. Wouldn't be like us to go to a new country without a situation. Let me just jump in the warm and tell you. Oh my word. Ugh. Okay, out the wind and in the warm. 2 things I need to share with you. Some situations that are going to alter our course that we need to sort out. Well, only one of them is going to alter our course. The other one's a concern. The first one is the preheater. Now, in the last time we saw you, we were in Germany and we were heading to Hamburg to try and get the preheater sorted. The preheater has an error code on it. If you've ever owned a diesel heater before, you know all about error codes. The Autoterm, the guys who supplied it, are saying that it's not a problem, probably will be all right, and it still does work. You know, the preheater works. I turn it on every morning just to practice heating up the engine in the morning, because when we get into past minus 10, I need to do it as a right of course. I need to come down here, turn it on at least half an hour before, so that the engine actually starts when we want it to start. So it's a bit of it is a lifeline. If we're in trouble, we need to get going. You know, it's one of the most important things for this whole trip. We were going to head to Hamburg, and there was going to be an engineer in Hamburg going to sort it out. However, Autoterm said, well, there's no point if you don't want to go to Hamburg and you want to go somewhere else, maybe we can sort it out together on the phone. Got them on the phone. They said, whilst it's probably okay again, we would probably prefer to change over the controller or something like that. They're being really, really good with their service because they want to make sure that we feel safe going into the Arctic. And they've got a really good reputation. They've got engineers all over Europe, and was hoping there'd be an engineer in Oslo. And whilst there is someone in Oslo, there's communication problem with that person, with that engineer. So we are going to be heading just south of Oslo. Where we're going to get looked at is actually, we have to go into Norway and then back down again to a place called Tronsberg. And that's where there is a definite engineer who can look at it. So that is our goal, because the other thing that I was going to speak to you about was that from this point onwards, if you look at the temperatures of everywhere you go north, you keep going up the latitudes, you keep going north into Norway. This is the last time that we're going to experience non-freezing temperatures, because from tonight onwards, it's going to be freezing, I think, all the time for the rest of our trip. And it's the day that we were waiting for, we've been preparing for, because it's going to be the next part of our trip is dealing with those frozen temperatures all the time and what challenges might come with that. So it's the last time to be fully prepared, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with that as we go along. Today, even though we're in beautiful Sweden, we don't know anything about this country. It's a new country for us. Scandinavia is all new to us. Denmark was new to us. We're going to be heading north up the southwest coast into Norway. Sweden is actually a cheaper country than Norway and Denmark, so we might take stock and stay here tonight in this country before heading into Norway tomorrow morning, and then hopefully getting the preheater sorted. We'll update you as we go along, but we've got to get cracking, because there is actually quite a long distance to get to Norway. So let's do it.
I'll put my life in a bottle, something to guide your way. Even if you're too scared to follow.
Oh my god, it's snow! I was asleep and I woke up and it's snow.
The landscape just changed completely.
What's happened?
So that must mean that anywhere now, because of our latitude and how far north we are, anywhere now above a certain level, above sea level, is going to have snow on, because we just did that. Depending on wind, and I know like there's other factors to it, but in general, we're that cold that anything above a certain level has had a dumping of snow. Sea level, we're all right still. Higher, snow. So the change is happening as we're driving along.
Continuing on past the surprise snow, we headed on to a Swedish town en route and decided to go and check it out.
Oh, it's fresh here in Sweden. We're in a place called Halmstad, and because we didn't want to just zip through Sweden, because we're actually heading into Norway, and we didn't want to just fly through Sweden really quickly, so we decided to stop just to check out our first bit of Swedish culture and
the town here, so we're going to pop in for a coffee on our way through. Checking out the pretty streets of Halmstad, we got our first bit of Swedish culture in a cosy cafe called Cortado Coffee Shop, where Liam grabbed a rhubarb and lemon cake with cream, and I had a chocolate ball, and not the healthy one of the two. It was the one filled with chocolate, and it was amazing. We unfortunately couldn't stay for long, so headed off. The Swedish sitting room. It's warm.
It's actually a warm seat.
How is it warm?
It's heated. I was expecting piles material going on there. But this is like, it's actually heated.
It's heated.
Janine,
Are you winding me up?
I'm not. Have a seat on that.
You're winding me up.
Have a seat.
Oh my god. It's actually warm. That's well cosy. You could sit here and read a book, couldn't you? I think that's the whole point.
That's such a good idea.
It's lovely. I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you then. So far today, we've been like headless chickens. We didn't get much sleep last night. The cold has hit Janine massively. It's so much colder here now. We're in freezing temperatures, and it's sort of a bit like British cold at winter, you know, where it gets right to your bones. So we need to acclimatise. We're going to actually start thinking about leaving Sweden straight away, because we've got to prioritise this preheater. If we don't have the preheater, we can't do this trip at all. So, and also further north of Oslo, the chances of actually getting the preheater sorted at all are slim to none. So we're going to prioritise it, and we're going to head towards Norway tonight. So that's the plan. We're just going to nip into the supermarket here, the Swedish supermarket, get some bits and get going, hit the road, get going, maybe stop and cook some food along the way. I've still got to practice my one-pot dishes, and then all going well, we'll be in Norway by tonight, and then tomorrow morning in to the engineers for the preheater.
No, let's go. No hesitating. We gotta move, we gotta shake, we gotta get up on our feet and liberate it. You feel like something's out of control. Your mind says yes and your body says oh. Let's go. Let's go.
Chocolate balls vegan. All I've eaten today is chocolate balls.
Oh my word. Okay, so we are at a rest stop. It's a long drive. I really didn't want to be doing that drive in such a quick time, but we have got one now. It's developed so much. It started off being sort of maybe quite a loose appointment, that flexible with days, and then there's some sort of weird Norwegian law that have meant that it can't happen on Friday. It's got to happen tomorrow. So the journey between here and where we're going, which is Tronsberg, which is south of Oslo, I thought it's a simple journey. It's going to be a long one, but a simple one. But we're going to go on another ferry to actually get to the point where we need to get to. And the appointment's tomorrow morning. It really is the last chance for us to do this, and I've got to put the effort in now. So we're not stopping for food. We've just managed to get a quick cup of tea, and we're on the road again. This has turned into a big long day of driving, but a necessary one.
Another 3 hours of driving and it's dark, so we've really got to get our skates on and get there.
We're crossing the Norwegian fjords tonight to get there. Yeah, I know. The thing that people go on cruises to go and do, we're going to do on a weird ferry.
Wow! I've always wanted to do the fjords.
You won't be able to see a damn thing, unfortunately.
Oh, how annoying! Yeah. Continuing our mega road trip and crossing the border into Norway, we decided we needed food and to rest for the night, so decided to pull in at a car park not far from the ferry port, with the aim to catch it first thing tomorrow, which means we can eat dinner, and we are both very hungry.
Go in quick, you're going to let all the heat out.
Oh, quick. Okay.
Be aware. Okay, cool. So when I was at the service stations in Sweden, I know we're now in Norway, I saw on the menu something that recurred all the time. I did a Google, and it's basically a hash, a Swedish hash. And what it is like potatoes, and well, hash always has potatoes and onions and stuff in, but it's also got other things as well. So I'm going to make it. I'm going to try and recreate it like a plant-based version of it. They put, like, from the picture it looks like they put egg on it as well, which we're not going to do. But the rest of it I'm going to do. So this is my one-pot Swedish hash. Let's hope it turns out all right, because I've just done a lot of driving.
So this is a parsnip.
Is that what a parsnip looks like?
One parsnip, carrots and potato. Do it.
Weird.
oil being
Oh no, it's coming out. Not sure if that's good for
like
it or not.
paste. I trust you to put it upside down. Bit of tofu.
Yeah, most people will be turning their screens off right now, but we friggin' love it, don't we?
Amazing.
And with the tofu, we put in soy sauce.
Nice. A Scandinavian soy sauce there.
Yep. Famous for the sort of. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What's that?
Pickled beetroot. Apparently, that's just what Swedish people are just mad about. We're in the whole of Scandinavia, so we're down with that, aren't we?
Yeah. Wow. That I have never had anything like this before. So
Really?
you got some sort of jam. Yeah, with the jam and the pickles on like it's like a bubble and squeak.
Sort of, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks really good.
Apparently it's a dish just like we do in the UK where you just rehash leftovers. So any root vegetables and potatoes and onions, and then thyme, soy sauce, lingonberry jam, pickled beetroots, done.
Good.
You know when you go to IKEA and you get that jam, that lingonberry jam?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just so good. Savoury and lingonberry. Nice. What do you think?
I don't know. Let's give it a go. Tofu, potato, with a bit of jam. That's really good. I love that jam.
What about the rest of it?
I love it all. Cheers. Ching, ching.
Is that like a new habit you're forming? You love little things like that, don't you?
And asking if it's real. Because I thought that Santa never lies, does he?
Santa never lies, no.
And if it was, then I thought, but if it was a man with a beard, only Santa doesn't lie, but other people do lie. So maybe he pulled his beard just to see if it's real.
You just pull it.
So you want me to pull his beard to see if it comes off?
Yeah,
But
maybe pluck one hair out of his beard.
What if it like, you know, what if I do actually meet the real Santa and I pull his beard and I hurt him?
You're instantly taken off the Christmas list.
Then I won't get my present.
It's a bit of a stitch up to Auntie Janine.
Yeah.
So that is Isla's request.
Okay.
Not a big one, it's all right, yeah. Good morning from Norway. We are at the stage of this Arctic quest where we don't know what country we're in when we're waking up in the morning. All I know is it's cold, and I'm not going to keep on saying it's freezing cold, but it is bloody freezing cold. We're in freezing temperatures from now on all the time, we think. However, I've just looked at the weather forecast and we're due imminently a huge dumping of snow. So probably the next time we see you, we're going to be having a completely different challenge altogether. However, now what we're dealing with is ice. And driving all day yesterday, I've got to say it's getting a bit hairy in the evening time. There was a lot of black ice on the ground, so we did pull over here rather than going further and catching the ferry. We're going to catch the ferry now across the fjord to Tronsberg, and in Tronsberg is where we're going to finally get the preheater sorted. We thought we'd rather do it in the daytime as well because, you know, people take cruises to cross that fjord, you know, from the UK. It would be nice to see it in the daylight whilst we're here. And yeah, on subject with it being freezing, we've heard word back from the Norwegian people who own gladiators like this, and they've said that from now on, in these freezing temperatures in winter in Norway, we need to be carrying fresh water rather than having it in the tanks because of the Truma boiler frost protection dumping thing. If you missed it from our first episode in the UK when we left, the Truma boiler that we've got dumps the water at less than 4 degrees. So rather than that happening and catching us out, we're now going to be carrying fresh water with us all the time and emptying the tanks. So that's just a hack that we've got to do to get through this Arctic quest, and we're okay with that. Anyway, onwards because we've got an appointment.
on the ferry to take us across, but no one's getting out their vehicles. Oh, there is a cafe though.
I reckon get out.
No one's getting out.
Let's start the trend.
I don't know. Well, how long does it take? Because if it doesn't take that long, I'd rather just stay here. But I do need the toilet. Oh, I think they're getting out.
Yeah, let's go.
They're getting out.
We can do it.
Okay, we're going for it. We're going to go for it because we fancy a cup of tea. Did you get the milk? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do this. What way?
It's going to be freezing out there.
We're going to brave it. What does it say? Are we allowed out there?
Do it.
I don't know. So we can get back in. Wow.
Beautiful sunset and sunrise as well.
Nice. Oh, look at that. That is so nice. Sunrise. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Wow. It's so pretty here at sunrise.
Cold, but
It's
pretty.
freezing.
Oh no, we can't. We're not saying
We're
it's
not
cold
saying it anymore. But it is. But with the cold, you get beauty. I think, like well, mind you, with the warmth, you get beauty as well. So
No. The effort that you're putting in with the cold, because you hate the cold.
yeah,
It's worth it for this.
yeah.
Yeah, when you see things like this, it's well worth it.
Yeah, it's so nice.
I do think with the snow coming, it's the calm before the storm.
I know, so do I. I need to be prepared for that. Oh my god! But look at that sun. I'm going to turn it round. I can zoom in. Look at that. Beautiful. Our first Norwegian sunrise crossing that ford was beautiful, and it just kept getting better, as all good sunrises do. Really, all the places we have been to so far have been warming us up to the extremity of what's about to come. And now we have reached Norway, that reality is here. And every now and then, that monkey in our brains keeps saying, what are you doing in Scandinavia at winter? Are you mad? But for now, the sun is rising, and we've got a preheater to fix. And all we need to do is take it one step at a time, because the ice and snow is unforgiving and merciless. We still hope to reach Lapland by Christmas, but our greatest challenge ever is what lies ahead on the road north to the Arctic Circle.
And see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call